Hey guys, Bruce T here, and today I want to give you guys an update on my motorcycles in my life and let you know what's coming, what's going, and everything in between. So I'm going to start with my 2008 BMW RT. I sold that bike last November. I had it for sale all of last summer and nobody bought it. And the fact is I wasn't riding it because the handling wasn't there. It just felt like a heavy pig and the seat position was low. I just didn't like that bike at all, so I let it go, and last November I sold it. Alright, next up we have my Honda RC51. You guys seem to love this bike. It has 2,600 views and it's my most successful video so far. Sadly though, this bike is gone. I did the trip last summer going to Canada on the BMW. And when I got back, 2 days before I came back to Germany, I was able to sell this. So the RC51 is gone. I have a spot in my heart for the Honda RC51 because I've owned 3 of them. And the sound that they produce and everything, it's just such a wonderful bike. But unfortunately, I'm in Germany, the bike was in America, and every time I rode it, my endurance on it was not that good because the bike was not comfortable at all. The V-twin made an awesome sound, but it's just not a bike that I could justify keeping. So I sold it, and I hope the new owner's enjoying it, and I'm gonna miss it. Who knows, I might get one in the future someday, but as of right now, I can't have an RC51 in my life. Alright guys, next up we have my 2008 Honda VFR800, and I absolutely adore this bike. I bought it up in Alaska, and it only had 2,000 miles on it when I got it, and it's got about 3,000 miles on it now. The paint scheme and the bags that match this bike, it's just incredible. I really do love the bike. I am open to selling it, so if anybody's looking for a Honda VFR, $5,500 will take it. The bike is in Massachusetts, in Central Mass, near Worcester, and my parents will be back from Florida next month, so that would be mid-April. So if you are interested in a Honda VFR that's very clean, 3,000 miles on the clock, not abused, not modified much, it's got a Zumo 550 GPS on it, let me know. I'm open to selling it. However, I'm also open to keeping it. It really isn't costing me anything to own it, and it's a great bike, but I'm not really going to be able to ride it much because it's in Massachusetts and I'm in Germany, and I have the BMW GS Adventure there, so by default that's going to be the bike that I ride if I go home on a trip and go adventuring. So that bike, I like it. It's a great bike, but if you want it, it could be yours. Alright guys, next up we got my 2017 BMW GS Adventure. It's a triple black model, and this bike is not going anywhere. I love this thing. It really is a great machine, and I love everything that it does. This is my flagship bike for taking trips in America. My friend Dave, he plans something every year. This year they're going up to Canada to do a trip, but I won't be able to make it because I have other obligations here in Germany and other plans for vacations. So unfortunately I won't be able to go on a trip this year, but next year I'd be open to going for a trip on that bike. So that's the one I'm going to keep in America, and that's going to be my bike that I use every time I go back. So that bike isn't going anywhere, and that's that. Alright guys, so that's the update on my current motorcycles. There is one more in my garage upstairs. It's an Aprilia 125. It was my father-in-law's motorcycle, and he had passed away, and it was left behind. But it's not something that I want to use or ride because it's a little bit small, and it's not the kind of bike that I need in my life. I need something I can get on and go on a vacation and travel with, and that bike would be just a tooling around town bike, and I have to get it running. It's currently got a dead battery, and the fuel tank is disconnected, and I have to figure out why it was put up, you know. So that bike is in the garage. We'll see what happens with it. So the next question is, what do I get for myself here? In Germany, I would like something I could travel with, throw some bags on, and do a little vacation. I did go to the dealership the other day, and I was looking at a Multistrada. That would be a great bike to have. It's got a lot of horsepower. My friend Dave has one. He swears by them. He's had 2 or 3, and it would be a nice bike to have. I also looked at the Yamaha Super Tenere, and again, that's a great adventure bike. It's been proven. People ride them up to Alaska and do all kinds of trips with those, so that's something that could fit into my life. And then there's the GS Adventure. They got the 1250 Adventure this year. I was riding home from work the other day and saw a GS Adventure. It wasn't a 1250, it was a 1200 like the one I have. But it really makes me miss that bike. You know, it's a great machine. It rides well, it does everything well, but it's very expensive. It's a lot of bike to be able to afford, especially having 2, because I'd have one in America and one here. But the Adventure is a bike that I'm interested in, but the price point is very high, so we'll see if I can swing it. But I don't know. It's going to be tough, but I do like what they did with them. They got different colors. They got the white, the green, the gray, and the blue. So we'll see on that. The Honda Africa Twin, I do like the paint scheme on them, and it's actually at a very affordable price point. The Africa Twin has actually been a bike I've been looking at for a couple of years now, and they got the Adventure Sports model, which has the crash bars, and it just seems like it'd be a great bike. So we'll see on that. Another bike is the KTM 1090. I like it. I looked at it the other day at the dealership, and it's definitely a bike that would cross off a lot of things off the list. But I've never owned a KTM. I don't know how the maintenance is on them. And there's also the Kawasaki Versys 1000. That was an interesting touring bike. The price point is very cheap, and it would be affordable to get one here in Germany, and it wouldn't hurt the pocketbook too much. So, alright guys, as you can see, I have a lot of choices in bikes, and you know, any one of them I can't go wrong with. So let me know in the comments below which one you think I should get. Riding season's coming upon us soon, and I'm hoping to be riding within a month. So let me know below what you think I should get, and I'll see you guys next video. Thanks!